I'm going to introduce our last speaker. We've had two great speakers so far. Thank you, gentlemen. We now are going to hear from a lady. We're going to hear from Shona Hunter tonight. She's a young mother of two, and she's dedicated to living an ethical, simple, and healthful life, as well as encouraging others to do so. She's owner of the Hidden Pantry, Thoughtful Catering. She uses delicious food to connect everyday consumers with other ethical, sustainable, and organic small businesses in WA. Shona is a Gemini, and aside from making beautiful, delicious food products for eating, I also heard that she makes body scrubs out of food. So please join me in welcoming Shona.
Hi everyone, how are you doing after 20 minutes? You doing okay? Not hungry? Okay, good. So, my name's Shona, and I'm interested personally in eating organic food that's free from genetic modification, that's local, that's being traded fairly, that's got no packaging, that supports my local growers and my local community, and also connects me with other consumers. So that's my personal interest, and I've taken that into a business arena and tried to apply a sustainable business model to the Hidden Pantry in an organic catering business. So my personal history is I got brought up on white bread and polony sandwiches, or as my friend said, nitrates and bum glue. That's what I grew up on, microwaved frozen peas and carrots and overcooked steak. So I have no family history of eating healthy or even cooking. My parents both don't like to cook very much. And I didn't have any kind of environmental background. It just was innate in me from a very young age to care for people and care for planet. That was something that I was born with. So I went to uni to study sustainable development, thinking that I could save the world through policy development. And I got very frustrated with learning about the problems and not being able to apply them practically on a day-to-day life, and spending years researching and coming up against corporations and governments and coming up against brick walls all the time. And it was just very frustrating. And I fell pregnant, and that made me understand the importance of feeding my child good food and giving her a toxin-free lifestyle. And it also made me really think for the first time, what is the future of the planet for my children? So I started thinking a bit more deeply about food, and I worked at Manor Whole Foods for a while, which is where I first heard about organics, fair trade, non-toxic cleaning products and beauty products, and all sorts of different diets, macrobiotics, through to raw food, anything you can think of. I learnt about it there. That was my training ground, and I quit uni in favour of that and in favour of starting little groups, the Fair Trade Frio group, advocacy there, to try and make connections with these industries and learn more. I also worked for a company called Clean Life, which was a kind of like an eco-directory. So I learnt about all the products that you could possibly buy in Australia that could help me on this quest to practically change my own lifestyle and be the change that I want to see in the world, in myself, on a daily level. So that wasn't enough. I cleaned out all my cupboards, I cleaned out all my fridge, I stopped wearing all sorts of things on my body, and I still felt like I could do more. So I wanted to start the Hidden Pantry to spread the love. So I believe, like Charles and Andrew, thanks Andrew, that it is actually your wallet does make a difference, a big difference, a huge difference, and especially your individual wallet, because the person next to you watches what you buy, and your family members watch what you buy, and your friends will ask you where you got that thing from. And that happens to me every single day, and if everybody's doing that, it spreads like wildfire. It's very, very quick, the effect that your wallet can have on saving the world. So I don't underestimate that. Can I just ask, who eats organic food here as a priority? Who eats it a little bit every now and then? Who thinks it's a crock of shit? Anyone? Okay, good. We're all friends, that's good. Okay, who's got a real passion for cooking? Who loves cooking? Okay, great. And who grows their own food? Less than 10% of their own food? And more than 30% of their own food? Nice work. Who aspires to grow every single thing they eat? Who wants to do that? Yeah, see, I think that's pretty much everyone. Who wants to live self-sufficiently? Yeah, okay, so we can do that in a community way by engaging with our neighbours and engaging with our farmers, just like Charles said. We can come together, not as individuals living self-sufficiently, but being in a community living self-sufficiently. And that doesn't mean being naked on a commune somewhere. It means talking to your neighbour and seeing what they're growing and sharing with them. So sometimes there's a lot of anxiety around, oh my goodness, there's so many toxins and the genetic modification and the preservatives and the additives. What am I going to do? I can't think about this and the food miles and what about my local farmer? And it's too much. So don't get overwhelmed and share the journey with somebody. So if you're starting the journey of trying to change the way you think about food and change your consumption habits, do it with somebody else. And you can share the research burden, and you can also share the different insights, the different pitfalls, and the successes and the failures, so that the journey happens quicker and you feel supported. The other reason why I started the Hidden Pantry is because everybody said, oh my goodness, your food just tastes so good. And I didn't understand because I don't have any commercial cookery experience. Like I said, I don't have any food knowledge in my family. So I was perplexed. All I did was follow a recipe, and the only thing that I knew that I was doing differently was using 100% certified organic ingredients. And I believe wholeheartedly that that's why my food tasted better than what they could produce at home. It was the quality and the integrity behind the ingredients that I'm using. So it tastes better, it feels better in your body. Just close your eyes and try an organic peach and then try a conventional one, and you can tell the difference. It's massive. So who feels that they're too time poor to look around and find all the organic shops? And does anyone have any problem sourcing the availability of organic produce? Does that daunt anybody? Yeah, I'm hoping to help connect up a few different organisations, but you can try the Organic Growers Association for looking at the different farmers and where they're growing and where they're supplying to. There's a few other directories around, and ask around your local neighbourhood. You can to sort of go towards buying organics and trying to afford it as well, because a lot of people have trouble affording it. Who has trouble affording organics? Who would say that that's probably the biggest reason why they don't eat organic on a daily basis? Yeah, okay, so buy in bulk as much as you can. Grow your own if you can. Get a veggie box delivery. All those things that Charles said was really, like, I'd already written them down, he said them for me, so they're spot on. That will help you reduce the cost. The other thing that I would like to point out is make your own from scratch. Don't buy organic mayonnaise in this little jar for $10. Make it yourself and learn how to do that. Learn the recipes from scratch with fresh produce from people around you. Don't just buy it in a jar. Don't buy packaged organic goods. Don't buy organic cookies in a package. You know, it will cost you a bomb and it won't taste as good as the ones you've made at home, even though it does have organic content in it. Join a food co-op. Okay. And yeah, come and ask me if you want some more information on how to reduce the cost and the burden of looking for organics. A lot of people say I'm too time poor, but after about 6 months of looking at all the different options, you'll change your habits, you'll change your shopping habits, and it will become an automatic thing for you to do things like soak your beans, make bread, sprout your grains, all of that stuff. And you'll also get quicker at it. So it's like anything. It just takes a bit of practice and you'll get there eventually. Families, if you've got kids to cook for and they're really fussy, just choose like maybe 5 to 10 recipes that they like and do them over and over and over again. And you'll get sick of them, and give yourself 1 day a week where you experiment and you have that freedom to create whatever you like, and the kids will just go hungry. If they don't want to eat it. That's what I do. Follow a recipe. So if you're afraid of cooking, follow a recipe. They're there for a reason. Some of them are really shit, but you do them once and then you know, oh yeah, that you could do with less sugar, or it could do with a bit more salt or a bit more cooking time. So do follow a recipe if you're scared of cooking from scratch, and it will help you use more produce. If you think that you may be time poor, maybe don't watch that rerun of whatever TV show you're addicted to. Or maybe don't play the final stage in your game, your online game, or maybe don't do that second hour on Facebook and instead go and make bread. That's my advice to people who think that perhaps they're time poor. Money poor, I think that food is totally undervalued, just like Charles said as well. Farmers are totally undervalued, and a lot of people complain that organic food is more expensive. There are a few very, very good reasons for that. Firstly, food is undervalued, and organic farmers know how to charge appropriately for their food and for their time. Secondly, they're not large-scale producers, so they'll produce maybe, some of them, only as big as this room, and they're competing against broad-acre farmers who are producing 10,000 times that much. They cannot possibly offer their produce at the same price. Yeah. It's impossible. And on top of that, they're not selling to big conglomerates because they don't have the output. So they can't go to Coles or Woolies or IGA and sell their produce. They have to sell to small greengrocers or organic stores. And these greengrocers and organic stores are usually paying exorbitant rents. They're small family-run businesses that don't have a lot of capital input like Coles or Woolies to be able to pay for their overheads, so they have to charge a lot more. And this is supporting your local community. So when you spend that little bit more on organic produce, just think about the farmer that you're supporting and the local business that you're supporting. Don't think about how much money is coming out of your wallet.